When I seen Tua go down Sunday, I didn't put much thought in it. I was like, I thought maybe he had a concussion, whatever. But then I watched it again today, and I said, you know what? This dude had either back spasm or maybe his back folded up, whatever. Let me tell you something. When you get a concussion, and I've had plenty of them because I used to box, and a boxer, when they fight, they get a good shot, you're concussed. When you spar, you're concussed. It is what it is. And that's why in boxing, you have a standing 8 count. Referee says, can you continue? You have a choice. That's how the NFL should be. Pat Mahomes, they wouldn't let him come back in that playoff game a couple years ago. Tua came back in. I don't know why everyone's making a big deal about it. They're making a big deal about it because of tonight. Maybe his back is messed up, and when he went down, his back might have nerve damage. Maybe it's not a concussion. Maybe he has nerve damage. So everyone's jumping the gun about this. Boxers, that's why boxers are punch drunk. They're all punchy. Not me, look at me. I can speak coherently and clearly. But most boxers are punchy. Not all of them, but there are some that are pretty bad. Look at Gerald McClellan, the executioner, one of my favorite fighters ever. He was in a brawl. I think it was Nigel Benn, I believe. He was beating him, and he took a few shots too many in the one round. He's never recovered. Blind. I think he's just basically a vegetable. But everyone gets concussions. I probably had 20, 30, whatever. I haven't had none for years, but I'm just saying, I do believe, too, after watching it, his back probably gave out something. And I believe today was the same thing. I didn't see anything that seen his head went down. People are making a big deal about his hands, whatever, going like this, whatever it was. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be. I am a mind doctor because I break people's minds down, but I do believe Tua has back issues. They said he already did. And people are making a big deal about this. And now, personally, I'm going to give you my thoughts on Tua. I never thought Tua was good. He's got a weak arm. He just throws the ball up in the air. I don't think he's that good. Now, he was good in that little Mike McDaniels offense they were running, and it was just a matter of time before teams figured it out. I mean, it's how hard it is. And I was like, it's like 3 or 4 plays. But when he throws the ball deep, he just throws it up in the air and it gets intercepted. So I'm not sold on Tua. And also, I thought McDaniels was a horrible coach. I don't even think the Dolphins were good. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. They should have lost to the Ravens. They had to score 28 points. They outscored them 28-3 in the fourth quarter. They shouldn't have won that game. The Ravens lost that game more than the Dolphins won it. They shouldn't have beat the Bills. I mean, they won it because the Bills were gassed. They were gassed tonight, and their head coach was the worst play caller ever. You got the ball on the 5-yard line, run, pass, punt, you kick a field goal. I mean, they had chances to score, but second half, when what's-his-name came in, they didn't give him a chance to throw the ball. All they did was run, pass. It was just, and your defense was gassed 90 plays the week before, and that's how you treat them? Run, pass, 3 and out? You can't do that. So McDaniels horrible. He needs to give a play call. If you're a Dolphin fan, McDaniels is flat out horrible. Because as soon as Tua went out, he was flat out horrible. His play call, flat out horrible. It's like he didn't trust what's his name, whatever. I don't know, but he was flat out horrible. The Bengals should have been beat today. They should have been beat. They got down to the 5-yard line with a chance to take a lead, and they kicked the field goal. As far as the Bengals go, it's always been an easy win for Cleveland. Cleveland owns the Bengals. The Dolphins will be an easy win. The Bengals always been an easy win. The Bengals have 3 great receivers, but Joe Burrow's not a great quarterback. I know people think he is. I don't know why, but he's not a great quarterback. He's got a weak arm. He's not very accurate. And he's just not good. He's like Chad Pennington. So you remember when Tom Brady had Jabbar Gaffney, Rashawn Caldwell, and Troy Brown as his number one. What was the other guy's name too? Deion Branch. This guy was making hay with goddamn scrubs scoring 40 points a game. Could you imagine Brady if he had these receivers? That's why I say Joe Burrow is not that good. His offense should be scoring 40 points a game like Tom Brady back in the day. But Joe Burrow just doesn't have the arm Brady had. So the Bengals, they're in trouble. Their defense ain't good either. They were getting gassed, but until McDaniel stopped run, pass. So McDaniel's horrible. If I'm the Dolphins, really, I say, listen, you got to give a play calling because it's terrible. So the Dolphins were not a 3-0 team. They might have been on paper, but they're more like an 0-3 team. So, yes, if you're a Browns fan, that's an easy win. The Bengals have always been an easy win. But, yeah, Tua, not sold on him. Not sold him at all. I mean, even the Baltimore game, when he had that great game, a lot of them throws were behind the receivers. That was Baltimore. Oh, that's another thing, too. The Dolphins were gassed, and they had backup corners, secondaries, all because they were injured. So that's another thing. I'm like, Burrow should have been able to take advantage of this Dolphins team, and he couldn't do it. So, but now they got to go to Baltimore next week. And Baltimore remembers very well what they did to him last year. So I surmise Lamar Jackson's going to have a field day. The Dolphins, they're in trouble. Because until they get rid of McDaniel, that guy's horrible. His play calling was the reason you lost today. It was, you got to give Bridgewater a chance. You have to. And I don't think, what's his name, Tua is going to ever play again. I really don't. I think he's got some neurological damage from his back. I think something happened to his back. I don't think it was concussion. Because I know he got up. If he was concussed, you'd know about it. He wasn't concussed. I think his back's fucked up. But what was I talking about? See, I'm not going to lie to you. This is about concussions right here. I forget things. And that's not senile because I'm only 50 fucking years old. That's from being concussed. But I get no headaches or nothing like that. But what was I talking about? Oh, the Dolphins. They played the Bills. They had 90 fucking plays. They were wore out. They shouldn't even have won that game. Josh Allen gave that game to them. So they shouldn't have lost. They should have lost that game. They should have lost the Ravens game. In their opening day against the Patriots, they should have lost that too. So they should be 0-3. They ain't a good team. I know people bought the Kool-Aid, but Mike McDaniel is who he is. He's one of them guys you see at, what do you call it? What's that fuck's up? Diner, Starbucks. That's who he is with the computer. That's who he is. He's not a head coach, and he's certainly not a play caller. So yeah, I don't think he has a concussion, and I just don't think Tua is a good quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater has potential, but he's not going to do nothing with that offense. Not when that guy puts constraints on him. You got to let your quarterback throw in this league. So yeah, I think Tua. I don't think he had a concussion. I really don't. Believe me, those doctors, especially now, they're not going to run him back out there. The way he fell down, they're not going to put him in that game knowing everything going on today if he had a concussion. And besides, back in the day, everyone got concussions in football. That's just how it was. That's how the game was played back in the day. You had concussions, you went out there and played. I don't think Tua was concussed. I do think he has severe back damage, though. And maybe he should not play football again because his hands were fucked up. They were all like this, whatever. I'm not a doctor, but I think that's back injury.